Scorpio, in the stillness between what was and what will be, a powerful shift is already unfolding. And whether you feel ready or not, the next 48 hours are not ordinary, they are a sacred crossing point. You've been walking with a quiet heaviness in your chest, carrying a weight you haven't always been able to explain. It wasn't always loud or dramatic, sometimes it was just a sense that something in your life had stalled, that no matter how hard you tried, something unseen was holding you back. Like a hand around your ankles just as you were about to run. And maybe, like so many times before, you blamed yourself for the delay, for the silence, for the lack of flow. But what the universe wants you to understand now is that this wasn't punishment. And it wasn't failure, it was protection. It was timing. It was the long preparation for something your soul had asked for long before you even knew you needed it. And now, the moment is arriving. The message isn't just about receiving good news, it's about the breaking of a cycle that has kept you hidden from your own power. Something that once blocked you, something deeply karmic and heavy, is finally unraveling. And you don't need to fight to break it, it's already crumbling. Because your soul has outgrown it. The news that's coming won't just lift your spirit, it will lift the veil. You'll see clearly what you couldn't see before. You'll realize that the struggle wasn't in vain, it was building the strength you'll need to carry what's next. It was building you. But here's the truth, you must hold close. Not everyone around you will celebrate this breakthrough. Scorpio, your intuition has already been whispering about someone nearby, a person who smiles in your presence but carries a different energy behind closed doors. You felt the tension, the subtle envy, the way they try to stay close but never fully clap when you rise. And even if you've doubted your instincts before, in the next 48 hours, that truth will reveal itself more clearly. This isn't about drama, and it's not about paranoia, it's about protecting the door that's finally opening for you. Because someone in your circle might try to step through it without being invited. And your energy is too sacred to share with someone who hasn't earned your trust. You're not being asked to confront or expose anyone, you're being asked to choose your boundaries with grace and to understand that not every presence is meant to walk beside you on this next part of the path. The news that's coming might arrive in an unexpected form, a call, an email, a casual message that seems small at first glance. But you'll feel it. You'll feel the shift in your body before your mind can make sense of it. And when it comes, you must be grounded enough to receive it. That means preparing now. That means clearing the space within you so that what wants to grow has room to breathe. This opportunity might touch your career, your finances, your sense of purpose, but it's deeper than all of that. It's spiritual. It's a reminder that your voice, your presence, your journey, none of it has been accidental. You're not here to live small or to keep apologizing for your depth. You're here to break cycles that others never dared to name. You're here to lead yourself back to your own truth. And in doing so, you show others how to do the same. If there's one thing you need to know, it's this. The pain you carried wasn't wasted. The silence you sat through wasn't empty. It was all building to this. The block was real, but it wasn't permanent. And now, the divine timing you've prayed for, whether aloud or in the dark hours of the night, is finally arriving. Slowly at first, then all at once. The energy will feel subtle at first, like a breeze before the storm, and then it will rush in with clarity, with confirmation, with a sense of, I knew this was coming, even if I didn't know how. And when it does, you must not hesitate. You must say yes to the life that's calling you now. Because it won't just shift your world, it will shift your relationships, your emotional landscape, the way you view your own worth. People from the past may return, not to distract you, but to remind you of how far you've come. And as you rise, you'll notice who is aligned and who is not. You'll notice who claps with love and who only claps when no one else is watching. This is the moment where your discernment becomes your protection and your softness becomes your strength. Scorpio, you are not here to explain your glow to those who dimmed it. You are here to embody it, protect it, and share it with those who recognize its truth. The universe isn't just delivering you news, it's delivering you back to yourself. A self you buried beneath duty, beneath survival, beneath old roles and outdated loyalties. That version of you, the one who needed to shrink to feel safe, doesn't belong in this new season. So in the next 2 days, as things begin to stir, remember this: your silence is sacred, your instincts are sharp, and your breakthrough isn't waiting for anyone's permission. If your heart feels lighter, if your mind feels more open, if your dreams are suddenly vivid and full of symbols, pay attention. That's your soul preparing for what it already knows is coming. You're not late. You're right on time. And this isn't just a moment, it's a turning point. One that was always destined for you, Scorpio. As the sky writes its story on the canvas of September 15th, 2025, the alignments speak not through cards, but through the ancient rhythm of the stars. And what they whisper to your soul now is confirmation, cosmic, precise, and undeniable. The moon in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus, stirring deep currents beneath your surface and shaking loose the final layer of illusions you've clung to for comfort. This isn't chaos without purpose, it's truth disguised as discomfort. And that truth is, this someone close to you has not been as transparent as they pretend to be. It might be subtle, the way they dismiss your dreams, the way they shift when you shine, the way their silence feels just a little too calculated. And while your heart may still be catching up, your spirit has already begun to move on. The disconnect you felt wasn't in your head, it was your higher self calling you to pay attention. This aspect, this tension between lunar emotion and Uranian awakening, forces out what can no longer hide in the shadows. And that includes masked intentions, lingering doubts, and relationships that only function when you stay small. Someone you once trusted, maybe a friend, a colleague, or a family member, has been quietly resisting your growth, not always out of malice, but out of fear, because your transformation threatens the version of you they were comfortable controlling. But now, Scorpio, the stars are no longer allowing you to dim your light just to make others feel safe in your presence. Pluto, your ruling planet, is retrograding through Capricorn. That means old patterns, especially those tied to power, control, and hidden dynamics, are surfacing for review. Not so you can fight them, but so you can finally release them. This is soul work. It's uncomfortable. It's sacred. And it's necessary. Mercury now moves direct through Virgo, sharpening your clarity, helping you notice details you once ignored. Little things will suddenly click. You'll recall moments where the energy didn't feel right. And instead of brushing them off, you'll finally trust what you sensed the first time. And as the sun begins its final degrees in Virgo, preparing to shift into Libra's domain of balance, you'll find yourself standing at a personal threshold. It's not about choosing drama over peace. It's about choosing truth over pretense. Some ties will need to be cut not with anger, but with clarity. The clarity that says, I've changed. And that means what I accept must change with me. At the same time, Venus forms a soft trine to Chiron, the wounded healer. This is the balm in your chart today. The reminder that what hurts can still hold purpose. That betrayal, even when unspoken, can be a gateway to deeper self-trust. This alignment brings softness to the edges, offering you the chance to witness what's falling away without collapsing under it. You are allowed to grieve what's being revealed while still celebrating the fact that you're no longer blind to it. What's being asked of you today isn't grand. It's simple, but powerful. You're being asked to listen, to trust, to stand still for a moment and let the truth land. Let the discomfort be a teacher. Let the tension guide you. not harden you. Because on the other side of this astrological shift is liberation, not just from people, but from versions of yourself that tolerated what your spirit could no longer bear. And yes, Scorpio, you might feel a ripple of loneliness in this in-between space. But don't confuse that with loss. You're not losing anything that was meant for the next chapter of your life. The universe never subtracts without preparing to multiply, and on a day like this, with the stars arranging themselves not in chaos, but in divine design, you are being positioned for something truer than anything you've known. You're not falling apart. You're falling into place. Scorpio, after the truth clears the air and the illusions begin to fall away. The signs will come not loud, not dramatic, but quietly persistent, like whispers from a world just beneath the surface of this one. In the next 2 days, you'll begin to notice certain patterns that feel too precise to be random. The first will come in numbers. You may glance at the clock and see 11, 11, or 10, 22. Not once, but again and again, as if time itself is pointing at something larger, something just beyond your current understanding. These repeated numbers are not coincidences, they are confirmations. They are light codes, designed to align your consciousness with what is already arriving. And if you've been dreaming more vividly than usual, pay close attention. You might find yourself dreaming of clear water, of sunlight breaking through clouds, of open roads or wide oceans, symbols of cleansing, awakening, and spiritual rebirth. These dreams are not just mental echoes, they are messages. Your subconscious, unburdened by the noise of waking life, is already receiving the transmission of what's next. What you see behind closed eyes will soon find its reflection in the waking world. There may also be a message unexpected, seemingly ordinary, perhaps from someone you haven't spoken to in a while, perhaps from a stranger whose words feel strangely familiar. Don't dismiss it. It may not look like a breakthrough at first, but you'll feel something stir in your chest when you hear or read it. That's how you'll know it matters. That's how you'll know it's part of the shift. Because Scorpio, these aren't just strange moments or small signs, they're the opening beats of a new rhythm. They're letting you know that the blockage you once accepted as normal is finally breaking. And as it breaks, it doesn't need to be explained, it needs to be felt, trusted, honored. These signs are breadcrumbs, leading you back to yourself. They are evidence that the universe has not forgotten you, even in the silence. Especially in the silence. You're entering sacred timing now, and when the world begins to respond to you in these small, synchronistic ways, don't question whether you're imagining it. You're not. You're being spoken to in the only language the soul has ever truly understood: energy, repetition, alignment. Let the numbers guide you. Let the dreams speak. Let the unexpected knock at your door. The future is no longer on the horizon. It's entering through the cracks of the present. And you brave, intuitive, deeply knowing, you are ready to let it in. And so, Scorpio, as the signs gather like soft footprints across your days, you may wonder what exactly is coming, what this unseen force has been aligning on your behalf while you were healing in silence, while you were forgiving in private, while you were choosing your own evolution, even when it was lonely, misunderstood, or slow. The stars don't speak in riddles today. They are speaking plainly, steadily, faithfully. What is arriving in your life is not simply a career breakthrough or a financial restoration, though those things are very real and very close. It is the complete restoration of your dignity. It is the anchoring of your truth into a world that once demanded you shrink to be loved, to be understood, to be safe. That time is over. The message that's finding you now will not only bless your bank account, it will bless the deepest wounds you stopped talking about because you thought no one could ever really understand them. You've held so much. Scorpio, you've carried ancestral pain in your spine, old betrayals in your chest, unspoken disappointment in your stomach. You've stood tall through griefs you couldn't name out loud. And somehow, through it all, you still chose to believe in more. Even if that belief only flickered in the darkest moments, and that tiny flame, that flicker of hope you protected, is what has opened this portal, you didn't need to be perfect. You only needed to keep going. And now, the reward is arriving, not as compensation, but as alignment, because you're finally ready to hold what was always yours, a life that reflects who you truly are when you're not pretending to be smaller, quieter, or more digestible for others. This message, the one that's only days away, will do more than affirm your worth. It will shift the way people see you, not because you're performing, not because you're louder, but because your frequency has changed, and people feel that they respond to it. Even if they don't know how to name it, you'll notice that conversations go deeper, that invitations appear out of nowhere, that people who once overlooked you begin to pause and listen. This isn't ego. This is embodiment. This is the universe reflecting back the self-respect you spent years cultivating in secret. And what's even more beautiful is that this moment of external recognition will ripple inward through the very roots of your life. Your family, whether biological, chosen, or yet to be formed, is going to feel this shift. For some of you, long-standing tensions will begin to dissolve, not because the other person suddenly changed, but because you did, because your energy no longer feeds old dynamics, because your heart no longer agrees to be pulled into stories that ask you to betray your peace. For others, this blessing will arrive as reunion, as the return of someone who once mattered, but with a new maturity, a new sincerity, a new path forward. You don't have to force this. You only have to be open to receiving it. The same goes for love. Scorpio, the love that's being written into your future is not small, not safe, not transactional. It is a love that honors the whole of you, the chaos and the clarity, the passion and the privacy, the light and the shadows. Whether this love comes in the form of a new beginning or the soft rebirth of something once thought lost, it will feel like breathing for the first time after holding your breath for years. This person, whether arriving soon or already orbiting your life, will not try to fix you. They will stand with you, see you, choose you, without needing you to shrink for their comfort. That's what your healing has made space for. And when this love arrives, you'll know it by the calm it brings. Not the confusion, but even beyond love, beyond money, beyond reunion or respect, this moment is about your role, your purpose, your place in the world. You are being called into something larger than yourself, something that honors your natural ability to see through illusions, to transmute pain into wisdom, to hold space for transformation even when it's uncomfortable. Scorpio, you are a spiritual leader. Even if you've never called yourself that, you lead by depth, by presence, by intensity. And the universe is placing you now into a position where that energy is needed, not because you have all the answers, but because you have lived the questions, and now others will find safety in your knowing. Even as you continue to grow, there will be moments when this responsibility feels like too much. There will be moments when you wonder if you're really ready to be seen in this way, to be sought out, to be looked to. But you are, because what you offer isn't performance, it's truth. And truth doesn't need to shout. It simply needs to stand still and let others feel its gravity. You've become that gravity. Scorpio, and now the people, the opportunities, the pathways that resonate with your frequency are arriving, not out of chance, but out of resonance. This is not a lucky streak. This is not a coincidence. This is the harvest of everything you've survived. The astrology of this moment is not random, it is precise. It is aligned. With Pluto retrograding, you are reclaiming parts of yourself that were once silenced. With Mercury direct, your voice is clear, your boundaries strong, your mind sharp. With Venus and Chiron softening old pain, your heart is ready to receive again without fear. And as the sun prepares to enter Libra, you are being asked to walk forward not alone, but whole, not guarded, but grounded, not perfect, but true. And so, let this be the final message for this chapter. Scorpio, everything you endured was preparation. The heartbreaks that broke you were gateways. The delays that tested your patience were acts of divine choreography. The silences that made you question your worth were just the pause before the symphony. You were never forgotten. You were being forged. And now, the gold that was hidden beneath all that pressure is ready to shine, not for applause, but for purpose. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to be who you've become. Because the moment has arrived, because the stars are aligned, because your soul is ready, because the life that once felt too big is now exactly your size. You don't have to beg the universe to notice you. The universe built this moment for you. Now go and live it with reverence, with courage, and with the quiet knowing that you didn't just survive the darkness, you became the light